Welcome back to The Breakfast Show. It is 9:30 on a Thursday morning. And yes, our next guest has written a book titled Changing with Lean Six Sigma. And yes, it's about how businesses can change for the better using the Lean Six Sigma methodology.
Now, this is a method that's been applied by global corporations such as GE, DHL, as well as public institutions such as the Pentagon.
So to tell us more about Lean Six Sigma and his book, please welcome Dr. A. Aroleswaran. Welcome to the show, Arol.
Good morning. Good morning. Okay, first of all,
yes. Tell us what Lean Six Sigma is.
Yes, and how? And is it a different variation of the Six Sigma?
Yeah, it is a combination of two strong or powerful methodologies. Six Sigma, something that Motorola came up late 80s, and Lean, something that in the turn of the century, in 1900, Ford came out with lean manufacturing, and then it was made popular by Toyota today, and that's why we have the Toyota system called Lean Enterprise.
I see.
So the combination of that, what GE did in the mid and towards the late 90s, became Lean Six Sigma. So it's a fusion of Lean Enterprise and the Six Sigma methodology from these two different institutions. So today, a lot of corporate organizations go ahead with Lean Six Sigma. I said, why do we need to do one or the other? Why can't we do both together?
Okay.
So that's why.
And I understand this has a lot to do with change management between a business. Explain that to us.
Okay. Well, the fundamental of Lean Six Sigma is about how do you improve speed of services, speed of delivery, and also how do you improve quality. That's where you get from the Six Sigma side. And the Lean side is about how do you eliminate waste and make things
efficiency,
that are focusing on effectiveness and efficiency. So when you get both of them together, so Lean driving speed, Six Sigma driving quality, what you get is at the end of the day is costs going down. So you are able to improve your profitability. So increase of sales, increase of your revenue, and your profit goes up. So at the end of the day, your book to market really grows. So that's what Lean Six Sigma is all about. But then, in order to make all of that happen, it's the people that do it. So the people need to change with Lean Six Sigma. The people also need to be able to adopt and manage the changes that they will go through. Because what Lean and Six Sigma will start to do is force you to work in a different way. Right? They're going to start to get you to think about alternative way of working. How can you be more efficient? How can you be more productive? Right? How can you get rid of unnecessary activities that adds no value to your customer, adds no value to your business? So that is the reason why it's driving change. So the people who's executing all these tasks and who are doing all these activities and work, it could be even work that has been historical, it could be legacy, right? Then all of a sudden you say that, hey, this work that you've been doing is no longer required, right? So people get, you can say people get reactive about that. You know, they say they resist.
Upset, to put it mildly.
Yeah, they resist.
So people resist change.
Yeah, they resist. So when we are talking about Lean Six Sigma, is we need to look at how can we show them that there's an alternate way, right, where they can improve. So they're not just improving themselves, they're also helping to improve the organizations that they're with.
I see. So that whole process of change, I'm sure, depending on the size of the corporation, will take time.
Yes.
And so, you know, getting hold of, I'm sure there are a lot of books also on this whole Lean Six Sigma concept. But yours is special because it actually, you know, breaks it down and makes it easily understood.
Yeah, I've emphasized more on the change management side because there are a lot of books out there on Six Sigma, on the technical side, because Six Sigma is tough. It involves lots of maths and statistics.
Yeah, I was going to ask, how easy is it to understand? Because you've written it in a way, and I'll show it to you, because it's, you know, it's got pictures even, you know, things like that. Just very simple diagrams.
Yes.
That are very easy to understand. You could possibly get a close-up of that.
So the original Six Sigma concept, like you were saying, you know, it's got a lot to do with maths
and statistics. Yeah, so you got to use, you know, the softwares to go behind it to help you. So you need to understand the concept of how it's applied. But, you know, even though you are good at the maths and stats, but if you don't get the people to change along with it, so what's the point? Right? So I've done a lot of work around the globe in this area, and then I came back to Malaysia in 2006. And I thought that, look, this is something really neat and cool, and introducing this in a Malaysian context would be really good. But what happened was, as soon as I came back, I found myself going out again. Because there was resistance in Malaysia.
I was just going to say, and that itself was a change. So how difficult was that for you to deal with?
Yeah, so there was a lot of resistance in local organizations. They said, hey, we're not ready for this. This is something for the Western world. It doesn't fit with our Asian culture and so on. And then I realized by doing some work, pocket of work in Malaysia, pocket of work in Singapore and in Indonesia, it's possible. People can change, right? If you put your mind and you set your goals towards changing, then you can change. So what I did was, it was really my frustration that drove me to write this book, because I focus on, look, there are a lot of change elements that you could use, and then backing that up with a powerful methodology called Six Sigma and lean management, you could improve your organization and drive towards continuous improvement, drive towards profitability, customer satisfaction, etc., etc. And the list goes on.
Okay, since you came back in 2007, which you said that you faced a lot of resistance because this was a Western concept, and since your book, and I'm sure you've got workshops and courses too, how do you see corporations reacting, especially the more local, SMEs and things like that? How are they reacting this whole Lean Six Sigma concept?
I think a positive story to tell you is the work that we have done with MDEC, because we are actually an MSC status company.
Yes.
It took us about 2 years before we got the program going, but when we got it going, there were 10 companies that participated in that program, so each company sent 2 representatives. And then our guys, developed a methodology and shared the methodology with them and worked with them. So at the end of the day, for the fraction of investment that MDEC provided, they saved collectively 3.13 million.
Wow.
And these are all startups. These are all startups. There were probably 1 or 2 large organizations. And one company called Paradigm Systems, they did one project and they saved $1 million. And they just dealt with how to handle and improve their help desk.
Wow.
So, yeah, that's a true story, and MDEC promotes it like anything today.
So without giving away too much, because you do want people to go out and actually buy your book, but how does the book break it down for, say, a layman, somebody like Aisha and myself,
so
who
if
just
we
want
were
to pick it up?
exactly, if we were in the process of starting up a company, a whole business, there's a lot to learn,
or trying to change the way our companies are being run.
Well, when you start a business, you're actually changing, right?
Yeah.
Right? It's the change in you that's driving you towards starting a business. That's the change. So if change is something that you do in order to get yourself into business, why can't you maintain that? Because change is the only constant. So why not continuously?
Change is the only constant. I like that. I remember that.
So, this, I don't know, it's someone's quote. I can't remember who said it, but I like to use that because in reality, that's what it is.
Yeah.
If you continuously change, so change is the only constant, because that's the environment around you is changing, right? So if you catch up with it, right? Because if the change outside, right, is faster than the change inside, then the end is in sight, right? So that's a quote from Jack Welch.
Wow, there you go, Jack Welch.
Yeah. So,
so yes, going back to your book.
So. The way I broke it down is I've introduced the concept of Lean Six Sigma.
Yes.
So very high level, what is it all about, how you could improve speed, how you could improve quality, and then eventually get the costs down. So by doing that, you improve your sales. You have an opportunity to improve your sales and improve your profitability. Then I focus a lot more on the philosophy of change. All right, because we are in Asian cultures are so used to this concept of carrot and stick. Right? Is either there's a reward at the end of it, then we work for it, or somebody
some
is
sort of a punishment or something like that.
Okay, so but the concept that I like is trim tab, which is the concept of empowerment. So if everybody becomes a change agent within an organization, then you don't really need, that becomes part of your culture. You don't really need carrot and stick anymore, because it is the culture. It is the culture of changing. So you're continuously changing and you're moving forward. So it's, instead of having, imagine a train, right, that's pulling goods.
Yes.
You have a locomotive and it's hauling all the the good trains at the back of it. But instead of doing that, why can't you put engines on everyone?
Exactly. And
So instead of having one large,
with a lot of resistance, I'm sure.
so you have small engines. So trim tab is actually a small rudder in a ship. It's an actual a piece of equipment. It's a small rudder in a ship which actually steers the entire ship.
Right.
So if everyone is a trim tab, right, so they all have a small engine that drives change,
Yes, so
then
they-
collectively in an organization, you're able to improve. So you move forward faster, quicker,
lot
so
faster.
speed. Yeah.
Okay, Dr. Arul, unfortunately we're running out of time, but I do want to ask, of course, reading the book is one step, but, attending workshops or trainings and courses is another step to actually getting familiar more with the Lean Six Sigma methodology. So you actually have an event that's going to be, or a workshop, is it?
Yeah, it's actually an event. It's like a forum.
It's a
All right,
forum.
so we're doing it together with our partners. So it's between LSS Academy and Leaderonomics. And we're doing it together with them on the 20th of May in Manara Star. Right? So if you're from the HR field, so you'll be able to get in touch with us, and we'll be able to extend you an invitation to attend it.
And
So-
How do they get in
people-
touch with you, yes?
So they could go to our website and then just go to the contact page and get in touch with
What's
us.
your website, if you don't mind reading it out for everyone
Okay,
else?
www.lss-academy.com.
Okay. Great.
Okay, we will read it out later on. If you have missed it, if you stay with us to the end of the show, we'll read all the websites again of all the contacts. There you go.
Yep. Thank you so much, Dr.
Okay.
Arul, and have a, we'll wish you the weekend in advance.
Okay,
Thank you.
Same to you.
Thank you so much for being on the show.
All right.
Yeah,
Time for us to
excellent.
take another quick break, but still to come. One fabulous night of music, migration.